Hi there! Today's book is The Giant Jam Sandwich, and it's written and illustrated by John Vernon Lord, with verses by Janet Burrow. So let's look at the cover. What do we notice on the cover? Do we see the land and the buildings? Does that look like where we live in Louisville? Yeah, it kind of looks like it's out in the country, right? Maybe a village or a town. And do we see any insects on the cover? Oh, that's right there, yeah. That's a wasp. So let's think, what would happen if there were lots and lots of wasps? Because that's what happens in this book. In this little village, there are too many wasps. So let's listen to see if we can figure out what the villagers do to solve the problem, okay? All right, so let's read The Giant Jam Sandwich. One hot summer in Itching Down, 4 million wasps flew into town. They drove the picnickers away. They chased the farmers from their hay. They stung Lord Swell on his fat, bald eight. They dived and hummed and buzzed and ate. And the noisy, nasty nuisance grew, till the villagers cried, "What can we do?" What are they doing in the picture? Yep. So they called a meeting in the village hall, and Mayor Muddlenut asked them all, "What can we do?" And they said, "Good question." But nobody had a good suggestion. What are we noticing with some of these words? What are we noticing? Let's think as I read the next pages. Then Bap the baker leaped to his feet and cried, "What do wasps like best to eat? Strawberry jam. Now wait a minute. If we made a giant sandwich, we could trap them in it." The gentleman cheered. The lady squealed. And Farmer Seed said, "Use my field." Bap gave instructions for the making of the dough. Mix the flour from above and yeast from below. Salt from the seaside, water from the spout. Now thump it, bump it, and bang it about. While they were working and working hard, some more made a tablecloth out in the yard. So what do we call this when everyone is working for the common goal? Looks like some teamwork, right? Keep listening for those words, and I'm going to ask you what that's called here in a minute. And when they were done, the dough was left to rise, till the loaf was a mountain in shape and size. So what do we call that when those words, what do they do? They sound the same. That's right. And what do we call it when words sound the same? They hitched it up with a bit of fuss to tractors, cars, and the village bus. It took it to the oven they had made on the hill. 50 cookers and an old brick mill. So what words sound the same on this page? Bus and bus. Hill and mill. Great job. For hours and hours they let it cook. It swelled inside till the windows shook. It was piping hot, and when they took it out, the villagers raised a mighty shout. Isn't it crusty? Aren't we clever? But the wasps were just as bad as ever. Great illustrations. The loaf was left to cool, and then the people watched while 6 strong men took a great big saw and sliced right through. Everybody clapped, and they cut slice 2. So they cut 2 slices of bread for their sandwich. The village bus, they all agreed, would spoil the fields of Farmer Seed. So 8 fine horses pulled the bread to where the picnic cloth was spread. A truck drew up and dumped out butter. They spread it out with a flap and a flutter. Spoons and spades slap and slam, and they all did the same with the strawberry jam. Meanwhile, high in the sky, or high above the field, 6 flying machines whirred and wheeled, ready for the wasps to take the bait, and then there was nothing left to do but wait. So what are they going to do with this piece of bread in the air? What are they going to do? Because we've got the one with the strawberry jam down below. That's right, they're going to plop it on them. Suddenly, the skies were humming. All 4 million wasps were coming. They smelled that jam, they dived and struck, and they ate so much that they all got stuck. The other slice came down, kersplat, on top of the wasps, and that was that. There were only 3 that got away, and where they are now, I cannot say. So did their plan work? But they never came back to Itching Down, which is not a waspish sort of town, but a very nice place to dance and play. And that's what the villagers all did that day. I'd be pretty excited too. And what do we notice in the cover here? What's going on with the bread? Yeah, the bread's gone. That sandwich is missing. And what became of the sandwich? Well, in Itching Down, they like to tell how the birds flew off with it in their beaks, and they had a feast for 100 weeks. So that's a pretty good story with teamwork. I also liked how the words were rhyming too. So, do you think that was a good plan? Would you have come up with a giant sandwich? I don't know.